BP, please visit wrfg.org.
The Ancestral Rock is live, y'all.
The Emory Hope Clinic's Community Health Night conducts.
WRFG operates on the frequency of 89.3 megahertz as authorized by the Federal Communications Commission. Opinions expressed on WRFG do not necessarily represent the opinions of Radio Free Georgia Broadcasting, Inc., its staff, or volunteers. This program contains language and/or information which may be strong for some listeners. Portions of this program are pre-recorded. Discretion is advised.
You are listening to WRFG Atlanta. WRFG provides a voice for those who have been traditionally denied open access to the broadcast media through the involvement of a broad base of community elements to guarantee that access. In the utilization of the station's facilities and in its programs, the following communities will receive first priority. Those who continue to be denied free and open access to the broadcast media, and those who suffer oppression or exploitation based upon class, race, sex, age, creed, sexual orientation, disability, or immigrant status.
Funding for this program is brought to you by listeners like you and the following sponsor. Get Off the Grid Fest is hosting 2 days of music, learning, and discovery, powered by the sun. The festival will take place in Scottsboro, Alabama on the weekend of August 23rd and 24th at the Goose Pond Colony and Resort. The musical lineup includes Donna Hopkins, the Mosier Brothers, Strung Like a Horse, and more. Workshops and demos are oriented towards homesteaders and the solar curious interested in producing their own electricity. For more information, the website is getoffthegridfest.com.
Get on the road, my brother. The train is coming. Get on the road, my sister. Train to Zion is coming. You want no man to miss it. Train to Zion is coming. You don't want no one to miss it. The Black Star Liner. It's going to Zion. We don't wanna go down the train. We don't wanna go down the train. We don't wanna mash it tonight. The Black Star Liner. The Black Star Liner. We don't wanna war on the train. We don't wanna go down the train. The Black Star Liner. The jet in the arena. We're going on a rock star liner. We're riding on a rock star liner. We're going to Zion. We go on the block and the rock and the way. We go on the riot squad and the way. We go on a soldier, the police and the train. The dreadlocks lane. Only not the dreadlocks lane. Get in the arena. Get in the arena. The Black Star Liner. It's going to Zion. We're reaching to holy Zion. We're going on the Black Star Liner. It's in the arena. It's in the arena. Come on, my brother. We going to Zion. We going on the Black Star Liner. Rotating the arena.
Whether you were black or whether you were white, the true way you fuss and make it true way you fight. We're here to get together on you like a make us sit on the Black Star Liner. Remember, sit down the block, star a line. You see, you think I'm a star in the deep trouble one. You think I'm living music, give a few and a kiss. Remember, sit down the block, star a line. Remember, sit down the block, star a line. You say you think I'm ugly, you just a flop against a rapper. So let's get together like a bird up. Never make me sit down the block, star a line. Yeah.
Dreams of Zion is coming. Don't want no man to mill.
Love is lovely and the power very ugly. You gotta make love, they ain't got to make that one. Say go we need to try and bar. That ain't no me no one no more try and bar. Go we need to try and bar. I think the same thing back for me to try and bar. Yeah, you know. Love is lovely. So you gotta live in love and unity instead of brutality. So no more, no more trying to no more, no more trying to between the city, live out with the trying to between the city, live out with the trying to yeah, you know. Love is what the world really needs to live. Black people gotta make the love, keep a shout around the love away. Ain't no matter what we gotta do, ain't no matter what we say. The same that food I never really leave, I say. Don't just leave it on the black starlight.
Of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. Our heart shall correspond and beat in one harmony. Songs from the burning spear. Two thieves shall not enter. Thieves are all along. They walk on a cheap man's car, sipping from the cup of peace. Chant down a Babylon, chant down Babylon, chant down a Babylon, chant down Babylon. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise to the whole man of creation. Champion of Babylon, champion Babylon, champion Babylon, champion Babylon. Give thanks and praise, give thanks and praise, give thanks and praise. Give thanks and praise to the whole man of creation.
Too long in our little ghetto, wrong's been going on, let's protest. Children of Israel who really love right. For just said I and I as a watchman around Babylonian wall. Oh, children of Israel, I should never hold our peace while wrong is going on day or night. Man, bust down Babylon gates. I say prepare ye the way, prepare ye the way for your people. Fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime, and build up righteousness. Hear him now, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, preserve our people. Come on, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, preserve our people. Yeah. Put crime away, put crime away, away. Just said I and I still as a watchman around Babylonian wall. Yes, even of Israel. I and I should never hold our peace while we are penalized day and night. We should chant down Babylon doors. I said, prepare ye the way, prepare ye the way for your people. Fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime, fight down war and crime, and build up righteousness. Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, preserve our people. Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, Jah Rastafari, preserve Jewish and Hebrew scripture, prophets and scriptures. Our race history would overshadow it. The most talked about plight of people would no longer be the plight of the Hebrews, would be the plight of the African American people or the black people. And it would be no more their prophets that people would be talking about and looking at. It would be Frederick Douglass, Dr. Martin Luther King, and even Elijah Muhammad that the people would be looking at. And they would say, here is a sign that God exists. Here is a sign that God is a God of justice. Say, look, they brought our forefathers or the forefathers of these people. See, we would say it and others would say it of us. They brought the forefathers of these people to this land and completely separated them from all knowledge of their past. They cut them off from their land, from their life, from their cultural life, from their history and everything, and raised them as empty vessels, as animals with no human recollection at all. And God, the God of justice, came to them and quickened in the dead matter of the slave a desire to be a man until there was a Frederick Douglass lashing out, cutting into the heart and soul and conscience of the white rulers until he caused them to repent. And they say, we can't continue this. The slave must be emancipated. Yes, it would be told in that light. It would be told in that context, in the context of Scripture. I've read about the moaning and groaning of the Hebrews and how God heard their moaning and groaning. Well, they were told to make straw and not even to use bricks. That's a hell of a thing to tell somebody to do. Pardon me, told to make mortar, make bricks. They were told to make bricks, but just with mud, no straw. And you know you had to have the two together. That simple way of making bricks back there, you couldn't make it out. You had to put the straw in there to hold the mud together. So they were told that, make it without straw, But when I look at what we were told in this country, from day one, even till now, I think our sad story deserves more attention than their sad story. For at least they were expecting a deliverer. Even had an idea of how that deliverer should look, what kind of idea he should have in his mind, what his interest should be, and they had a belief that he would be in opposition to oppressive Egypt. They had an idea of Moses before there was a Moses. We had no idea of a Frederick Douglass until there was a Frederick Douglass, because there was nothing told us. Huh? Yes. Very special people. Now, why am I telling you all this? So you can think yourself special with God. So you can think yourself special with God. Oh, yes. No, we don't have a prophet in the prophetic scheme or in the classical scheme of prophets, because that means one thing and the reality means another. We are yet like them and even greater. We are greater people than the Hebrews. We are greater people than the Jews. Our Frederick Douglass is like Moses and greater. You know what we will do? Now, just to sober you up so you don't go crazy. I have not told you that so that you will have some arrogance, some high nose over other people. No. When God comes to a people, he comes to a people because divine wisdom and divine plan ordered that. Yes. He doesn't come just because your sickness is worse. Go ahead. Your death was more pitiful. No, that's not the only reason. He looks at what affects his will, interferes with his will, what interferes with his light, reaching his people, his creation, his dependents, us humans. And then he responds and advances his plan. So why have I said this? Why have I pointed and compared our history, our suffering, and have said that a God of justice should come to us, should hear us, if that God heard the suffering of other people and came to them? Why have I said that? I said that to say this. God has come to us. God has responded to us. God has chosen us. Chosen us for what? Chosen us to send the message again that's been sent by prophets over and over again, and especially by Muhammad, to those who would take and separate or isolate a group of people from the family of man for mistreatment, for servitude, etc. The message comes again that no matter how elaborate your scheme, no matter how treacherous your scheme, how deceitful your scheme, how complex, how hard to decode your program that you may use to hold the people down and deny them admittance, the God of heaven and earth sees you long before you start your thing and already have a plan to undo your works before you even began your works. And now God will take that you put down and find in it someone worthy for him to embrace. Don't think God embrace a black man or a black woman just because they've been kicked in the butt so many times, or just because they've been rejected so many times, or just because they have so many stripes from lashes and inflictions, from white man's rule or something. No, that's not what brings God to pick on a black man. When God see a black man in that state, crushed and beaten and denied and rejected and cut off from all understanding, but he's yet trying to be a decent human being, then God picks him up. And he said, here's the thing that you reject. Here's the thing that you single out for abuses. The thing that you cut off from his humanity. I will take this thing you've cut off from humanity. And because you don't have as much conscience as it has in it, I'm going to raise it up to be your example, to be your model, to be your boss. Oh, yes, we have been chosen. We have been chosen because of the circumstances, because of our history, because of the circumstances in our life. We have been chosen to be raised up and be models for the world. It is going to come whether I preach, whether Jesse Jackson preach. We don't have to preach. You will preach. Your children will preach. It's going to come.
By the ghettos of Babylon, where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon, where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon, where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. City projects and town, where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. Sussing out the whole thing, scoping how everything on. For us the system failing, mostly the wealthy gaining. Planting a natural garden, industrial plant polluting. Fall from the cloud acid rain, destroy and not like giving. The love the case of Zion, more than all Jacob dwelling. More than this place we betting, more than them crazy custom. Unemployment with poor man, means extra cash for someone. The evil favoritism, need to get wiped out the plan. I the ghettos of Babylon, where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon, where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of Babylon, where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. City Jackson town, where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. Zion. Various things are spoken of the old city chosen. Feel good and time we hear them, but milk and honey flowing. Blessed holy foundation can be found in the mountains, land of the grass surrounded by waterfalls and fountains. When we remember Zion, we cannot help but smiling. If we the hearing siren, but news alone you flashing. In the midst of the heathen, hear the conquering lion. Witnesses testifying, the elder storytelling. The ghettos of Babylon where we sat down in a meditation, wanting Zion. By the ghettos of
To yourself on the Ancestral Rock, to your station for progressive information and handpicked quality music. Coming in hot on a Thursday afternoon, and we thank for the moment. We're grateful to be here with you. We're grateful to be here with you. And we are inviting you to continue to stay tuned to yourself. Tuning into ourselves is why, boy, we're talking about a win-win situation. You know? And we got special guests in the wings that's going to, in her very special way, remind us of what they really look like. As they say, in a practical way, you know. In the meantime, we give thanks for our sister Desiree with the soundtrack to the evolution. Musical is called By the Ghettos of Babylon, where we sat down wanting Zion. Before that, we heard from the Imam, Boris King Muhammad, a song called Super Ego, a great jewel of energy and remembrance. We also heard from Joseph Hill, Culture, who transitioned on this day years ago. I don't remember what year it was. I got to look that up. For Joseph Hill. On the battlefield, you know, on duty. I want to send a shout out to his wife, Mama Pauline, and Kenyatta, his son, who's taking up the mantle so beautifully. I seen them nicing up the place the other day on one of them yearly festivals in somewhere in Europe, sounding just like his father. He came with his own unique gift as well to add on to the influence. You know? And that's what we're here celebrating, heirloom culture. You know what I mean? Our phone number is 404-523-8989, 404-523-8989. WRFG.org is the website. Without any further ado, I want to bring on our special guest. She's no stranger to many of y'all in around the Atlanta area, and even nationally, globally, because her imprint is already something that is firm, something that is clear. You know, we give thanks that sometimes we hear this when someone has transitioned, that they gave more than they took. You know, that's a sign of someone's great work. And many times we don't take time to reflect on that reality before, you know, they go into their older age, their older years, in the winter of their life. So we're grateful in our community that we have the practice. We have been reminded, and we take that reminder seriously, to develop the practice of acknowledging greatness in the moment. And you know, that's for our own good as well, you know, as for the good of that which we acknowledge. It's for our own good, because everything is a reflection. And I bet you if you knew who you came from, and we walking around you every day, you would walk this earth with a greater swag. You know what I mean? That's just how it is. So on the phone line with us, for those of y'all joining us on YouTube and Facebook as well, you can see her. Community healer, priestess, mother, warrior woman, and all of that, and then some. Mama Rekhi, I hope I said that right. Rekhi,
Kajara Nebehet, Mama Kajara, founder of Sekhi Healing Arts Temple. Sekhi Arts Temple is a spiritual organization that promotes health, wellness, and culture and natural living through classes, retreats, books, and other products. And Sekhi has practitioners and teachers all over the world who help people to heal, release, and tap into their own power. Tapping into your own power. There we go again with that. It might sound like cliche to you, but many people around the world have seen that as a reality, and that's why WRFG is here. Before we bring up our special guest, that's why WRFG is here, because until the Lions have their own historian, Tales of the Hunt will always glorify the hunter. Again, we hear the doom and gloom as soon as we turn on the news and we turn on our phones and all that kind of stuff, you know. We hear just doom and gloom. But we don't hear all the beauty, all the goodness that's rising in the earth. And that's why we're here, to keep a balanced narrative. So without any further ado, welcome to the airways of WRG, Mama Kajari. Are you with us? Can you hear me? I think you're.
Yes,
muted.
greetings.
What's up, Mama? How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I'm thankful, always thankful, no matter what.
True. Well, thank you for joining us today. And we're looking forward to having this conversation with you. As I was saying, one of the things I was reflecting, just getting ready for this program today, again, it's one thing to be making up stuff just to make yourself feel good, like they say, fake it till you make it and all that. However, there's so much, if we really tapped into what we're working with and what we have been endowed with, first of all, we ain't got to embellish anything,
Right.
And there's a lot there that we can be proud of and that we can be energized by.
Sure.
And that's what really one of the things that excites me about having you in the program today, because your work, it speaks for yourself, and your work is towards that. Even as I was reading the brief introduction, when you talk about Sekhi and having practitioners all over the world who help people to tap into their own power, in the age of social media and everything, where so many things just get often repeated, so they lose their sting. They kind of become cliche to the average person. I want to ask you, just to get us started, to help us to understand what exactly that means. You see, tapping into your own power. What is meant by that?
So, everyone was given gifts by the Most High that are part of our powers, our God-given gifts. You are good at music. You are good at several things. Those are some of your superpowers. We also have powers such as our intuition, our senses, our ability to manifest things and such. So when we are in tune with our true selves, our higher selves, and in tune with nature, the divine around us, then our powers become more apparent and even magnified. So, most people don't realize, I would say most Black people have some type of superpower, like a psychic power, the ability to see the unseen, to hear what other people don't hear, to feel what other people don't feel. Those types of powers we also have. Some people have the power of prophecy and such, but a lot of people are afraid of the powers, or they are told that those powers are from the devil, and so they're discouraged. And then most people don't know how to use the power, and that we have the ability to set boundaries with our powers. Just because you have the power to see, I've had some students who can see the matrix, like they could see electric currents moving through the air, which that could be problematic if you don't know how to turn it off, right? So sometimes you want to be able to have that gift and you want to turn it on to see whatever it is. And then sometimes you don't need it. So things like that, we should know. and that helps us to be more balanced, I would say, when we have these gifts. Because I do have other people who have gifts of hearing, like myself. I'm a medium to the ancestors. I can hear spirits. So, when I first started hearing them in my early 20s, I thought I was losing my mind for a minute because there was so many voices and that some of them were contradicting each other. So, it took me a minute to realize that this, in fact, was a gift and it was a spiritual power that I had turned on by my work, by fasting, by meditating, things of that nature, kind of like magnified those gifts, those powers. And so the same thing happens, for all of us if we know how to work it.
I feel you, if we know how to work it. And you kind of went there already, and I want to dig a little deeper. Just get a little personal for a minute to share some of your story. It's very important. You are an accomplished author, a prolific author, really. And it's the old saying: you don't know the name, the author, you don't know what you've read. So help us to learn a little bit more about how you came into this understanding of yourself. How far back can you take us in terms of a memory that a realization then that, okay, there's something different here. I'm working with something that maybe the world, as you just said so poignantly, is shutting down or not understanding or misunderstanding, all these things. How far back can we go with that?
To be honest with you, I would say my teenage years, my early 20s, I really became more aware that I wasn't alone, and I had, some guides with me. I was an avid reader as a child, so I had become aware of ancestors and spirit guides. So I knew that I, had guides that kept me out of trouble and kept me safe. Like one time I was hitchhiking and, I was a teenager and the man said something strange and I instantly just got a strong urge to jump out the car, and a push, I would even say. And it was, those types of experiences that I've had through my life. And, that just let me know that I did have some other things going on because most people don't have stories like I have. Right. So, throughout my days, I definitely have had spiritual experiences that led me to want to know more. I did used to go, I think going to I used to live in Richmond, Virginia. And we were told to go to the ports and make offerings to the ancestors to help appease their spirits. And so I went. I probably was around 30 at this time. And I went and I was guided to invite other women to come with me. And we would go out there and pray and sing old spirituals and took offerings. And I began to have like visuals of, the people moving. I could see the ancestors. I could see the indigenous ancestors who would stand up on this cliff and look down as they marched, some of us in. And so, around that time, I had what I call a spiritual quickening, in which I just went from knowing that I was magical to actually doing the magic.
I like how you put that. That's clear. Who feels it knows it. You mentioned Richmond, Virginia. I'll be up there in a couple of weeks. Big up the Happily Natural Day family.
Absolutely.
The Manifesting family. Yeah. And that is a portal. I remember when I first started going there, then I lived in Philadelphia for a while and was driving back and forth to Atlanta. I would make it a point to stop in Richmond. There's something there for real, in those in that part of the South that's really strong energy in terms of the Africans that toiled there, and
Ooh, the
And
breedings. They had those breeding camps in Virginia, and but they did also have, I would say, their own rebels. Gabriel Prosser was right there in Richmond. Nat Turner's land, about an hour south of Richmond.
Yeah.
So, the energy there is very strong. And also many, many, many ancestors came through Richmond. And after they stopped the slave trade, they began breeding ancestors. So you will find that people there also have a strong Jim Crowism. It's the best way I could put it, because of those breeding camps that they had in the southern part of Virginia.
Indeed. We're talking about Mama Kajara of Sekhi Temple, Sekhi Healing Temple, and we're going to be talking about a reunion coming up soon. I'm going to take a very short break. There's something going on technically here, and I want to make sure we don't get interrupted in our stream. So we're going to take a short break and come right forward. This is WRFG Atlanta, 89.3 on the FM dial. The Ancestral Rock. Tune into yourself and stay tuned to yourself. Tell a friend. Link us up. We're here on 89.3 FM and WRFG.org. WRFG.org. Check it out.
Georgia State University's Rialto Center for the Arts presents three-time Grammy winner, Tony Award winner, and NEA Jazz Master vocalist Dee Dee Bridgewater on Saturday, September 6th at 8 p.m. The Rialto Center is located at 80 Forsyth Street Northwest in the heart of downtown Atlanta. For more information, the website is rialto.gsu.edu. That's rialto.gsu.edu. This has been another public service announcement brought to you by your listener-sponsored and supported community radio station, WRFG 89.3 FM Atlanta and WRFG.org.
2:49 in the afternoon. We're here until the 4 o'clock hour. WRFG Atlanta. You're tuned into the Ancestral Rock on the phone line with us. Let me say your name one time, Mama, so I can get it right, because I'm reading, and I know you as Mama Kajara, but I want to be able to pronounce her full name properly, and the family as well.
So Rekit is actually my title, and Rekit, it pretty much means, the one who channels, the seer, the oracle, the Rekit. And then Kajara Nebehet, you said that fine.
Okay, great. The Rekit, Kajara Nebehet.
Right.
So if this thing comes off right here, we're going to switch to the phone line. There's something happening with the battery on my device, so I just want to let you just give a heads up so we can keep the vibe going. So yes, so you were talking about those formative years when you started discovering that there was something there. So, and I'm asking you these questions prayerfully so other people, as you so powerfully said earlier, so many of us have these same things. Right. So maybe somebody else can have some guidance as to how can I get some assistance in discerning and knowing, what I'm working with, even before we get into the work, the specific work that you do and the organization and the global, touch that you all have established. So at what point did you get or link up with community who could relate, whether a teacher or anything else? At one point did you find tribe that you could relate to with these unique gifts?
I actually, I'm a student of Naeem Akbar. Okay. So when he was teaching down there in Florida, I was one of his students. So he definitely opened my head up, as we used to say back in the days. Yeah. So that was the
community of self.
A community, yes. He definitely gave me a whole new perspective. But I am from Chicago as well, so I did grow up with a knowledge of Blackness. You know what I mean? We We had Jet and Ebony magazines. So Black History Month, we learned all the Black history in Chicago. That definitely helped as well. And then, I've been a student of Dr. Laella Africa, Dr. Sebi, Queen Afua, and a host of others, Dr. Ayaba Bey, and others. I've sat at their feet and learned. So, thankfully, I did have some excellent teachers. I still hear Dr. Sebi and Dr. Africa in my head to this day, saying, "Don't let my stuff die. You got to keep the energy going, keep that knowledge going." So, yes, I'm thankful for the lessons and the influence and the power that they instilled, with that knowledge, because of course knowledge is power, and especially when you use it.
True.
And so give thanks for that, for those great ones.
So I'm assuming that those teachings help you even to relate to your fellow, your peers, your people around you, outside, that because I'm asking you this question because a lot of time when people have special gifts, they feel kind of isolated. They feel kind of isolated.
To be honest, I do have my times. I mean, isolation. I'm an only child, so it is something that is natural for me. I do also enjoy family and family time, so that's also important. And having the balance of the two is what really keeps us going, I feel, especially when we're on this spiritual journey. But definitely, working with the sisters, I used to facilitate Sacred Woman. So I've always been one to work with women and children, and, especially ones that want to be natural and be cultural and, really help themselves to heal. You know what I mean? So that's my tribe. And really it's been, I must say, working with our people, working with our sisters, it's not an easy thing. It's not easy, especially because most of us, our people, we don't know that we need healing. Most of us have conformed to the norms that have made us sick. And so doing this type of work is especially challenging because of that. It would be so much easier if our young sisters were saying, "Hey, let me go learn how to do Reiki," as opposed to saying, "Hey, let me spend my money getting a BBL." What I mean? So fighting with, I wouldn't say it's a fight, but it is a process of enlightenment that sometimes I want to turn back. I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, it's not an easy thing at all, but it is very rewarding. I'm very thankful to have been chosen. I do have the fortitude to stick through it as far as I could take it. But I just have to say, in this time, our people need healing and we don't know it.
Well, we give thanks for your fortitude because our community is absolutely better because of your presence. That's real, So we're grateful for the fact that you have found that inner strength. When you were talking about that a minute ago, I just thought of Mama Araminta, who said that she could have freed so many others if they knew they were in bondage. And that's a sacred tradition. It's a sacred tradition. 404-523-8989, 404-523-8989. Before we go to the top of the hour, I'm watching this thing here and I'm just trusting that it's going to work with us. We as one of our teachers right here on this program, a person that taught me a whole lot through this radio channel, Dr. Delbert Blair, he used to say all the time, it's not how the planets influence us, we influence the planets. The same thing with technology and all that kind of stuff.
That's right.
We're not slaves of technology and all these things. These are tools for us, for our shape. You mentioned earlier about isolation, and it brought up a thought in terms of how solitude. What kind of power, especially in a world where everybody is just it's hypersensitive. What kind of power, even beyond you being an only child and your own personal journey, as a healing power, that how do you relate the power of solitude, the power of going within to your students?
I would say it's really important to our healing process. It's important for self mastery, even because you have to know yourself. You have to be good with yourself in solitude to have mastery over yourself, and it can be a process of healing. It could be a process of manifesting. Isolating yourself. For me, that is what allowed me to write the books that I was able to write. Just taking the time to go within, and then I was able to bring something out of that. So, I would definitely encourage people to have that time, even as celibacy as well, especially for, well, young people have a high sexual energy unless they find other ways to channel it. It's hard, but it can be helpful. It can be empowering because it does allow you to not be distracted by others. And again, that could lead to self mastery. It could lead to healing. It could lead to manifesting whatever it is. If you're really needing to do something big, you got to focus. You got to concentrate. You don't need distractions. So, that's with the isolation, the fasting, things of that nature. That's why we do it.
So, to focus, to be able to focus. That's real tough. Our phone number is 404-523-8989. We're reflecting on the upcoming Sekhi reunion. And that sounds exciting to me on many levels. One, because this is an institution that's for us, by us. And when you hear a reunion, then what you're thinking about is a family.
Mm-hmm.
And I think of Queen Mother Moore and Julius Nyeri, who both said, we're not successful until our children are successful. So I'm thinking of a root of a tree and then branches spreading out. So I'm sure you must be excited about that as well.
Absolutely.
If I'm excited about it, I know you're excited. So how long has Sekhi as an organization, if I can use that word, been around?
Well, as an organization, I would say since around 2010.
Okay.
I started teaching classes around 2007, and then, but I really didn't have an idea of having a temple or organization. I was just teaching, and then around 2010, things began to grow. The interest grew, and we began to expand. So it's been a good run of 15 years thus far. I am very thankful. Again, as I said, we've traveled all over, even went to Kemet, to Egypt a few years ago. As a temple, we've had cruises. We've done a lot of things. One thing that we do want to do next is to set up our retreat center. So we are still looking for land that we can build this retreat center on. And this will be a place for us to have for our healing. We will have summer camps. We will have eco-friendly situation with the solar panels. And I've seen a lot of people start to set up. So, but also a wellness center, a spa-like things. I would like to have some place to house some of our elders, like Baba Hannibal and Dr. Ben, who ended up crossing over in a nursing home instead of being in the care of the community. So, that is one of my goals. And, Sekhi, we are here to help our people to heal, to help us know, because that is the medicine for us to get back to our culture, to get back to our natural ways of living, growing our own food, living on the land, using herbs, using the sun for energy medicine, fresh water, things of that nature. That is our future, you see, because the world is already in change mode. And you know, we should have more of these communities already set, but we are working on that. But there are things happening in different places I've been hearing, so I'm glad to hear that. But we certainly need more, especially with everything that's going on. Places that we could grow our own food, teach our own children, and live, and be at peace, and not have to be in place in these smart cities. I'm just gonna say.
Right.
I just got to keep it real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's this or that. It's this or that. So, like Black Sheep them say, for those of y'all from the golden age of hip hop, you know what it is. You can get with this or you can get with that.
Exactly.
And we are here to affirm the power of our being, the power of our potential to manifest that in real time. 404-523-8989 is the number. 404-523-8989. WRFG Atlanta, 89.3 FM. We're speaking with Mama Kajara of Sekhi Healing Temple. And we're getting ready to take a very short break to handle some business and come right forward with more. Y'all tune into yourself and stay tuned. Tell your friend, tell your brothers and sisters. We're on the radio, the Ancestral Rock, 89.3 FM in Atlanta, and all over the world you can join us, WRFG.org. Those of y'all who are joining us right now and maybe on your break at work or wherever you are and you got to get back into the office, WRFG.org.
You know, we all don't want to say nothing else, so we say as young as we are. Now I want to talk about the pronunciation and the realization. Now the educators, they call it ESP, positive thinking, right? Some of the people on the cross other side of the pond call it vibrations, astrology, and all those different things. You understand? But I call what it is what it is. What it is what it is. Look at him. Now you see, brother, you take in the ghetto, you find a whole lot of crime. I can understand. Hey, I know what it means. Being 9 years old before I got my first bill on the way out of the store. Putting on a half dress suit from the pawn shop with tennis shoes. Trying to be hip. So I know where you're coming from. Like the fellow say, having catfish head stew. It's like the catfish went in there with his head and come out very quick and didn't leave nothing else. That's one thing the educators and the politicians and the establishment gotta remember. Now, brothers need jobs. You know what? You can't eat. You know what? You can't eat. Get him, cook yourself, good God, my brother. Get it from the street. You don't what? You can't eat. Sis, you know what? No. You can't eat. So you got to have mind power to deal with starvation. And that's what we're dealing with. You see, we can't go back to the biblical stories. 2 loaves of bread. Or 2 little fishes, 5 loaves of bread. 2 little fishes, yeah. 5 loaves of bread. Now look here, too many brothers to go by that. Now I want your brothers to think where we're coming from. Set your mind right here. Think the JBE experience. I talked to you from a young man out of New York.
89.3 FM, James Brown. Big time. Baba James Brown's musical disc called Mind Power. On the phone line with us, Mama Kajara. Mama Rekehit Kajara never hit. And we're talking about Rasiki, the healing experience. And you have something special coming up, Mama, that we've been alluding to in terms of the reunion. So I'd like to get into that specifically to find out what's going on with that so the family can be tapped into the what it is, as James Brown said, the what it is and what it is. So we can tune in and tap in to that which affirms us, to that which heals us and affirms our reality, you know.
Yes.
So what's going on with the reunion? Tell us about the reunion.
So we are having our 4th annual Raseki reunion on September 12th through the 14th. So the first night, Friday night, is the Kemet Gala. And that is our time to dress up in our African gear and come out looking our best. And we will have our awards presentation. We're going to have a vegan dinner. We'll have some entertainment and some dancing as well. So the Kemet Gala is definitely one of our, we always have a good time. I'm just going to say it's always a really, really special experience, you know, coming together, dressing up, everyone is shining, looking good, feeling good. And that is how we start off our reunion for that. Saturday is going to be a day of workshops. And we do have some extraordinary speakers coming. We're going to have Dr. George Love opening the morning, I would say, Saturday at 11. And he's going to do his Kemetic Tai Chi. Mm-hmm. So get ready to move because he definitely will get you up and, you know, tapping and moving your energy and stuff like that. Dr. George Love is just an extraordinary healer and teacher. So we always thankful to bring him in. And then we'll have, I got to look at my list. We're going to have Danielle Henry. She just wrote a raw food cookbook and she's been doing a tour. Real beautiful, powerful sister. Baba Patah is coming as well. He makes the Kemetic calendars. So he's been doing that for maybe like 20 years. And he talks about the importance of time and such. So definitely another good one that you don't want to miss. Saturday evening, we also will have our Feast of Sekhmet. That's the time to come and give some, you know, prayers and offerings to the Great Mother Sekhmet. She is known as the Great Mother Healer, the destroyer of evil. We work with her to help us in our healing process, to help fight court cases, things of that nature. Anything that we need to fight with, Sekhmet can help us. So fighting sickness or of any type, I would say. Feast of Sekhmet is Saturday evening. And everything is going to be over at the House of Ogun. So that's over in right near Union City. It is Union City off of Bryce Drive. So that's going to be good. Then Sunday is going to be another extraordinary day. We'll have speakers. Baba El Hagan is coming from Philly. He's another master healer. So he's going to share. He's a great, great speaker. Sister Aj, who owns the Sweet Spot right here in Atlanta, is also going to be there. And we're going to have my beautiful goddaughter, Mumu Fresh, coming. I know she was just here at the... Yeah. I was like, please come, my sister. So she is actually our Healer of the Year. Every year we give awards out for Healer of the Year, Teacher of the Year, Entrepreneur, and we like to honor our elders. So she was selected through our process, and she's going to come on Sunday and receive her award. She'll also do a sound healing workshop with us on Sunday at 3 p.m. So each day we'll have vendors. We're going to have, entertainment. I didn't even mention the singers, but we have Santos Soul coming from Oakland. My sister Tachia, who does the comedic chants, is coming from Chicago. And then there's one more. Let me look. But yes, people are coming from all over the country for the Sekhi reunion. We're going to have the brother Ajitofo coming to speak as well. And everyone who's receiving awards is going to speak. DJ Mami Wata is going to be there on Saturday to give us some nice music and everything. And it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be, I like to call it a African style party on the Kemet Gala. So just a nice evening of us enjoying ourselves, doing the grown folks thing. Children are welcome throughout the weekend. We have had children to come to the gala, dress them up. The colors are going to be green and gold for this year. So wear green and gold. You can buy your tickets at rosekihealing.com. You can buy a 3-day pass or you could buy a day pass. However you choose to do it, that is fine. Just go ahead and get those tickets in advance because the spaces are limited. But we definitely want to see our Atlanta family come out. I know I have taught at least about 150 people right here in Atlanta. So
I know you have. Like I said, I wasn't just talking for talking's sake when I said your imprint is serious,
Yeah, thanks.
You've put in some serious work and it's evident, you know what I mean? So we give thanks for that.
Mm-hmm. So we calling all the family, even you, Ross Kofi, come through.
Let's get it.
Show up one of them days. So bring some watermelons, bring your beautiful energy.
Yeah, man, it'll be an honor to be there. I was really fiending for that Sedona retreat y'all did. I was just really feeling that. I couldn't make it at the time, but I pray I have another opportunity to join y'all on that.
Well, we go to Sedona every year, so you just have to tune in.
So it's the autumn. Is it every year in the fall?
It's actually sometimes we do it in the spring. This year we went in June, so we went for the summer solstice. It was so hot, but it was nice.
I can
imagine. It was really, it was so nice out there. We got all the sweating we needed to get.
I can imagine. Let me tell y'all something about the healing power of the sun. Like yesterday, I had some kind of blockage in one of my in the, I guess, sinus or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't really figure it out, just felt like mucus or whatever. But I went to visit my grandson and we sitting out here, and at that time of day in my daughter's balcony, the sun was just like shoosh.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter came out and gave me some turmeric. And between those two things, I don't want to give y'all TMI. Let's just say it all released, and I was feeling a whole lot better.
All right.
Just the sun.
That's right.
Just the sun. That's my whole point of sharing that. The sun, alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then using some of the natural herbs from Mama Earth to help to catalyze what that medicine that the sun brings is a powerful thing.
That's so right.
And that was just, I won't say it was random. And there's nothing random, but that wasn't even something that was so deeply planned. So imagine now if, vibing out with Mama and Mama Kajara and the family, and you're going through something that has been intentionally set as a whole, something that's based on the sequence and the science of life, a whole fullness. I can just imagine how that can catapult some great healing.
Absolutely. That's one reason why we do certain things when we do them and where we do them. And, because we want to capture that energy. Like you said, the energy of the sun is powerful. It can heal us. And they used to use the sun as healing therapy back in the days. They would, I think in some hospitals even, they had like a rooftop area where patients could go and just sit in the sun. But I know for us in our community, yes, the grandmamas would sit people down and just expose your skin wherever you feel in pain, expose it to the sunlight and sit there so many minutes a day, every day until you feel better. That's real medicine right there. The energy is serious.
Straight up. We give thanks. We give much thanks for you joining us today. I want to ask you to repeat the details, the when. We already know the why for sure, the when and the where, and how folks can get in touch if there's tickets available and all that kind of stuff. Please.
All right, yeah. So the Kemet Gala is September 12th. It's going to be 7 to 11. And we will be at the House of Ogun on Bryce Drive in Union City. It is a Black-owned space. That's what we like to be. And you can go to RasekiHealing.com to buy tickets. You can buy a ticket for a day or 3 days, however you choose. If you want to vend, you can also buy a vendor space. They're only $50 a day. Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 9 on Saturday. No, excuse, not that. 11 to 9, around 9 on Saturday. And then Sunday is going to be like 11 to 4-ish. All right. So those details should be online at RasekiHealing.com. We also, yeah. Here, if you need to reach out, you can check me out on Instagram, Facebook, and send a message through there. If you need to, you can email rasekitemple@gmail.com as well. And
give me the website one more time, please. Just say it slow so I can type it into the thing.
Okay. It's Raseki Healing.
That's spelled
RASEKHI HEALING.com. Raseki Healing. RASEKHI.
All right. So that's up there on the screen now for those who are listening. Yes.
Give thanks.
Well, give thanks. Congratulations on 4 years of reunion and, all these decades of healing and, helping our people in very tangible ways. We appreciate you. We give thanks for you.
Give thanks.
And we're looking forward. We're looking forward to a great reunion this year. I ain't get to check out Mumu Fresh at the Pan African Fest because I had some other stuff going on. So that's a good incentive even on a musical tip because she's one of my favorite artists for real. Hardcore.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, that's
hardcore.
Give you that second chance to come through because she does. Woo, her voice is so powerful. So I thank you so much for giving me this time to come and share with your listeners. And, you light up the place always as well. So we appreciate the work that you do for the community continuously. And much love and light. Thank you so much.
404-523-8989 is the number, y'all. 404-523-8989. Mama Pijara, never hit. Raseki Arts. I keep wanting to say Raseki Arts Temple. I don't know if the art, if I'm injecting the art, so that's actually part of the name. It's definitely an art, a healing heart, heart, and all two of them that they are manifesting, they're bringing to the world. So we give thanks. 404-523-8989 is the number. Check it out, y'all. We're going to take a very short break and come forward with some more of the vibes. One more time, out to the nozzle from our good sister. Again, the phone number up here is 404-523-8989, 404-523-8989. The website is wrfg.org. My name is Ross Kofi. We're here until the 4 o'clock hour. Tune in, y'all. Check it out.
all men and the brotherhood of all men. The biblical injunction of Acts 17:26 reminds us that he created of one blood all nations of men that dwell on the face of the earth. I was most interested in brotherhood within his own faith. Because if Negroes are created in God's image and Negroes are black, then God must in some sense be black. If the white man has the idea of a white God, let him worship his God as he desires. We have found a new ideal. Because whilst our God has no color, and yet it is human to see everything through one's own spectacles, and since the white people have seen their God through their white spectacles, we have only outsiders to see our God through our own spectacles. We believe in the God of Ethiopia, the everlasting God, God of Father, God of Son, God of Holy Ghost, the one God of all ages. That is the God in whom we believe, but we shall worship him through the spectacles of Ethiopia. For 250 years, we have struggled under the burden and rigors of slavery. We were maimed, we were brutalized, we were ravaged in every way. We are men. We have hopes, we have passions, we have feelings, we have desires just like any other race. The cry is raised all over the world of Canada for the Canadians, of America for the Americans, of England for the English, of France for the French, of Germany for the Germans. Do you think it unreasonable that we, the blacks of the world, should raise the cry of Africa for the Africans? The Negro is the man. We represent the new Negro. His back is not yet against the wall. We do not want his back against the wall because that would be a peculiar and desperate position. We do not want him there. It is because of this that we are asking for fair compromise. When the Belgians have control of the Belgian Congo, which they cannot use, they have not the resources to develop now the intelligence. The French have more territory than they can develop. They have certain parts of Africa which they cannot live at all. So it is for you to come together and give us a United States of Africa. We are not going to be a race without a country. Confidence in us as men. We are men, human beings, capable of the same acts as any other race. Possessing on the first circumstances the same intelligence as any other race. Now Africa's been sleeping, not dead, only sleeping. Today Africa's walking around not only on her feet, but on her brains. You can enslave what was done for 300 years the bodies of men. You can shackle the hands of men. You can shackle the feet of men. You can imprison the bodies of men, but you cannot shackle or imprison the minds of men.
Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. 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 Ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé oyè. Ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé káwa má ṣòro. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o.
Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé óye. Ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé káwa má ṣòro. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o.
Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Ìgbàgbọ́ ò pé óye. Ìgbàgbọ́ ò pé káwa má ṣòro. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o.
Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Ìgbàgbọ́ ò pé óye. Ìgbàgbọ́ ò pé káwa má ṣòro. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o.
Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Ìmọ̀lẹ̀ ò pé óye. Ìmọ̀lẹ̀ ò pé káwa má ṣòro. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o.
Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Ìmọ̀lẹ̀ ò pé óye. Ìmọ̀lẹ̀ ò pé káwa má ṣòro. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o.
Ìbà Olódùmarè àgọ̀tán ọba tẹ́nígbẹ́lẹ́jẹ́ forí ságbéjì omi. Ìbà ọlọ́jọ́ òní. Ìbà Ọlọ́run. Ìbà ènìyàn. Ìbà bàbá, ìbà yèyé, ìbà olúwo, ìbà ojúgbọ̀nà. Ìbà ọmọ kékeré, ìbà àgbàlagbà, ìbà ọkùnrin, ìbà obìnrin, ìbà oyún olú, ìbà àṣẹ́ẹ̀dì. Ìbà gbogbo irúnmọlẹ̀, ìbà gbogbo àwọn àgbààgbà, ìbà gbogbo àwọn òrìṣà.
Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé óye. Ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé káwa má ṣòro.
wa làwa ń ṣe o oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé oyè ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé káwa máa ṣòro oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o.
Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé óye. Ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé káwa máa ṣòro. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o.
Ìbà akọ́dá ìbà aṣẹ̀dá ìbà àràbà ló tún fẹ̀. Ìbà àràbà awo òde Ọ̀yọ́ mẹ̀gbọ́n awo rẹ́mọ tẹ̀dímọ́lẹ̀ awo làrẹ́ kíríndín awo tẹ̀ta ọba ká làrìṣà awo òde ìjùbẹ̀ oyin ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ awo lẹ́kùdùdà òde rí awo ṣẹ̀kúndá ẹlẹ́ṣin awo lé ọ̀yán èrìmì awo òde ọ̀wọ̀ àgàmì rárá awo lé olódùmarè ìbà ọlọ́run ìbà ènìyàn. Oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o 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 ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé óye ẹ̀sìn kan ò pé káwa máa ṣòro oró ilé wa làwa ń ṣe o. Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba.
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 Ọba tó bí aró. Ọba rẹ̀ bí oṣù. Ọba jìwọ̀jìwọ̀ ìlẹ̀kẹ̀.
Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba.
Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba.
Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba.
Ilé Ifẹ̀ òdáyé Ifẹ̀ òye lágbo níbi ojúmọ́ tí mọ́. A kì í dúró kí wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́, a kì í bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́ Ọọ̀ni. Kòǹga kòǹbẹ̀rẹ̀ ni wọ́n kí bàbá nífẹ̀ẹ́ Òǹtólú. Ẹni bá dúró kí wọ́n nífẹ̀ẹ́, ẹbọ ni wọ́n fi wọ́n ṣe. Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba.
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 Siambala olùkú ewu ládìgbò lu ọmọ àgógó ọjà etí kọ̀wé tí kọ wúrà bàbá Sànúsí àdòyìká yá àkọ́ kájà àdòyìkó sí àkókò ṣe wọ́n sì ní ẹja bẹ́ẹ̀ Ṣàngó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ sí Ṣàngó ní sọ̀mọ́ rẹ̀ ní nǹkan kan bàtà ara kan bí láyé mọ́ àwọn oníṣàngó ń dà kọ̀rọ̀ ara kiri.
Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba. Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba. Mébé mi ò
olùkú ọ̀lẹ́ olùkú ewu ládìgbò lu ọmọ àgógó ọjà aṣáṣe àṣe kábíyèsí fàlàáfin ọba tó Siambala olùkú ewu ládìgbò lu ọmọ àgógó etí kọ̀wé tí kọ wúrà bàbá Sànúsí àdòyìká yá àkọ́ kájà ayòyìkó sí àkókò ṣe wọ́n sì ní ẹja bẹ́ẹ̀ Ṣàngó lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ sí Ṣàngó ní gọ̀mẹ́ni bàtà ara kan bí láyé mọ́ àwọn oníṣàngó ń dà kọ̀rọ̀ kiri.
Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba. Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba.
Ìjẹ̀ṣà òṣèré onílẹ̀ òbí òkè kéèké lásán wọn lóde lájọ ẹ̀gbọ́dọ̀ tèmi káwọn Ìjẹ̀ṣà èyí dábẹ́ ni ọ̀rà fún wa wọ́n bá rà fún mi tán ọ̀tún rà fáyà mi kára òjò kẹkẹlú kẹkẹ lílé olóye ẹnìkan èéjó lóye òdùnrán Ìjẹ̀ṣà ọmọ ulélẹ̀rú o wá ti múná rògbò Ìjẹ̀ṣà òṣèré onílẹ̀ òbí àgbà Ìjẹ̀ṣà ní sẹ́sọ sí bẹ̀bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìdí bọ́bá wọn lọ́wọ́ àjọ bí wọn máa jó kẹkẹ kúdú olóye ẹ mọ́ pé Ìjẹ̀ṣà ní ẹrú òṣòmọ̀ ló mọ̀ o ẹrú bàbá wọn ní í ṣe pẹ́pẹ́yẹ ọmọ màkúní àtẹ ọmọ atẹniwíjọ ọmọ ògbónimọdù lóore nínú ilé bàbá wọn àwọn lọmọ ọwá ọmọ òkè aláṣọ ńláńlá tí wọn fi jagun lóde Ìjẹ̀ṣà bọ́ọ̀ bá rà fún tó tún bá mi rà fáyà mi kárò ojú kẹkẹ lórí olóye rẹ nìkan kì í éjó lóye èdùrà Ìjẹ̀ṣà.
Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba. Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba. Ọba tó mébé mi ò pé rí ọba. Ọba tó mébé
kọrin lóde dèmi ara àdé ara ìrẹsà. Ọ̀yà mọ́ wa lọ sí Ìlọrin Àfọ̀njá ẹnu dòjì ọ́. Ìlọrin Àfọ̀njá ẹnu dòjì ọ́. Ìlú tó bá yóò lẹ́gùn ẹ̀sìn lẹ́gùn lé wọn ọkọ̀ lóró ti bẹ̀. Ìlọrin Àfọ̀njá kéré àlìmí. Ìlọrin Àfọ̀njá ẹnu dòjì ọ́. Ọmọ àdìsẹ́ fi kálà mọ̀ dáwọn lẹ́kùn àdìsẹ́ kọ́ńdúkọ́ńdú máa ń gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀nu tèmi ni. Ọmọ ọlọ́fà mọ́jọ ọ̀làlọ́mí ọmọ àbísù jókòó ìjà kadì kátàkìtì lóró tọ̀fà ìjà kan èyí wọ́n jà lọ́fà lé ọ̀làlọ́mí ó sojú èdè ó sì sojú gbòòrò nínú oko. Ọmọ iná ọ̀gbọ̀ràn ẹ̀jẹ̀ amúpọ̀ tí ọtí ọ̀gbọ̀ràn ẹ̀jẹ̀ afọ́mọ líle ọmọ líle tí ọ̀gbọ̀ràn o Àfọ̀njá lọ́mọ líle tí ọ̀gbọ̀ràn wọ́n rán mọ́lé wá lọ sójú ogun. Ogun náà l'Àfọ̀njá ń lọ́jà ní ọ̀wálé mọ́ Ìlọrin Àfọ̀njá ẹ̀dọ́dọ̀ òjì ọ́.
Ọba tó bẹ́bẹ́ mi ò pé rí ọba.
Ìbàdàn mi ṣe ọgọ ilé Olúyọ̀lé Ìbàdàn ọmọ ajẹgbíyó ọmọ àfikàràǹfọ̀rí mu. Ìbàdàn gbógungbòrò ẹrú Ìbàdàn mẹ́rú Ìbàdàn mẹ́rú ẹrú Ìbàdàn náà mẹ́rú ọ̀jagunjagun Ògúnmọ́lá ọmọ Fẹ́ṣù. Ọba tó lè bá wa ò pé rí ọba.
Ọba tó lè bá wa ò pé rí ọba.
Ọba tó
lè bá wa ò pé rí
rí ọba. Ọba tó lè bá wa ò pé rí ọba. Ọba tó.
I've never seen any other person call God in Yoruba language. I know about Olodumare. Let's start with the meaning of Olodumare. If you speak in Yoruba, you know the word Odu. It means a pot. Mare means that it's never exhausted. So the man who has the pot that is not exhaustible. In English, it means almighty. Everything is within it. That is Olodumare. Now, if you want to tell me that Yoruba have many gods, I have a book, if a city with 201 gods, mention them. If you are speaking Yoruba, have you heard anybody who says Ṣàngó Ọlọ́run, or Ọya Ọlọ́run, or Ògún Ọlọ́run? I have never heard it. Ṣàngó, Ọya, Ògún, that's a name we call them. Orisha. Does Orisha mean God? No. If you speak the Yoruba language, Orisha is a normally when you have language, Olodumare, we put it together because Olodu tí ò kéré, we shorten it. Orisha is shorten form of Orisha. Ori is your destiny. Picks you out. So the meaning of Orisha, àwọn tí Orisha, àwọn tó jẹ́ pé Ọlọ́run dá wọn, ó fún wọn lóore ọ̀fẹ́ láti ṣe nǹkan kan. And if you take the Orisha Yoruba, every Orisha ó ní nǹkan tó ṣe. Ògún Orisha ni wọ́n sọ pé Ọlọ́run. Òun Ọlọ́run fún lẹ́bùn láti kọ́kọ́ mọ nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ ọkọ́ àtàdá. Ọ̀rúnmìlà lọ́lọ́run fún lóore ọ̀fẹ́ láti lọ́gbọ́n tó mọ fi kọ́ wa. Ṣàngó ló kọ́ wa lọ́gbọ́n àti mú iná wáyé electricity. Àwọn tó Oríṣà láti wá gbé nǹkan ribiribi ṣe láyé ló ń jòrìṣà. Ọ̀rúnmìlà mórúkọ ìyá ẹ̀ Alájẹrù. Jàkúta lórúkọ bàbá ẹ̀. Òkè Gẹ̀tì náà bí sí. Ṣé ìyẹn lọ́lọ́run? Lórí pé the idea of Allah is somebody who is not of this world, who descended from space. Those are the ideas of the Romans and the Greeks. Even it's in the Bible. Mr. Modubo Oduyoye was a priest of the Anglican Church. He ran into difficulties because he wrote a book, Genesis chapter 1 to 16, Sons of God and Daughters of Men. In the Bible, at the beginning, the sons of God, who was from God, we don't have that in Yoruba. Oya is from Ofa. Moremi is from Ofa. Orunmila is from, we know where they are born. They are heroes. They are human beings, but they have done what most people could not do, and they single themselves out as contributors to the development of the Yoruba people. Because they mean ni pé tẹ́ bá ti rí ibi tí Yorùbá sọ Yorùbá tó ní Ṣàngó Ọlọ́run tó ní Ọya Ọlọ́run ẹ jẹ́ ká rí. Òrìṣà ló mọ̀ pé kò ní pè lọ́lọ́run. So the idea of having many gods, no. A mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run kan ló wà. Ó ní Ifá lọ́ba, òrìṣà lọ̀sìn. Ọba Olódùmarè nìkan là ń gbẹ́kẹ̀lé, ó wà nínú Ifá. Ifá lọ́ba, òrìṣà là ń lò lábẹ́, but Olódùmarè nìkan wà lókè. So Yorùbá àwọn tó lọ ń ṣe bí ẹni pé tẹ́ bá wo àwọn church, St. Matthew's Day, St. Paul's Day. Ṣé Ọlọ́run ní St. Paul? November 1, All Saints Day. Gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ ń pè ní St. Paul, St. Peter yẹn èèyàn ni wọ́n. Torí pé wọ́n ṣe nǹkan pàtàkì nígbà tí ìgbàgbọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ la fi ń pè wọ́n ní saint. So àwọn tá à ń sọ yìí torí pé wọ́n gbé nǹkan ṣe nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ ká lọ síwájú la fi ń pè wọ́n lórìṣà. So the translation of òrìṣà is saint. And èèyàn ló dẹ̀ sọ̀yàn ní saint. Up to today, Pope ló ń pè yàn ní saint. Ọlọ́run ò dá saint. Ẹ tó ń pè ní saint yẹn èèyàn ni kì í ṣọ̀run ló ti wá. Àwọn tó jẹ́ àpọ́nlé táwọn tiẹ̀ torí pé wọ́n ṣe nǹkan dáadáa fún wa, àwọn ló ń jòrìṣà. Wọn kì í ṣe Ọlọ́run, small God, Ọlọ́run kékeré, kí ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀? Kò sí Ọlọ́run lásán, Ọlọ́run kan ló wà, Olódùmarè dẹ̀ ni.
You who can speak through tongues of trees and fire and water, this earth cannot hold you. We pound the ground and you appear, O ancient ones. You who can make lightning strike with the flick of a skirt. You who can make tornado turn with the spin and span of hips, take us there, to the place of knowing, to the hall that leads to the doorway of you, O holy ones. You of the first light, you who know the potential of possibility pulsing in the dark, deliver us unto our gifts. You who have sunlight in your fingertips, touch our drums, make us hear the rising, make us move a steady stump, a choir of voices so majestic, heaven hides us in a tapestry of light, oh we are stars, blankets of wonder. Sky bright eyes seeing the invisible, visible. You who have returned, you have turned our faces so that we see ourselves, and we have found you again in places we would have never imagined. You make our limits infinitely long. Our vision is clearer with eyes closed, and even there, you still stand in full color, vibrant and eager to serve. So not my potions or my spells, not my crawfish or my crabs, not my brass or my ass, ain't none of it for sale. Not my cemetery or my temple, not my land or my love, not my plurines or my huckabucks, ain't none of it for sale. Oh, you peeping Toms and Sallys, you Wisconsins and Nebraskas, you thieves and tax collectors, look, ain't nothing over here for sale. Not my theater or my park, not my music or my art, not my soul or my heart, ain't none of it for sale. Oh, you bandits and you con men, you dumpster divers and hoodlums, keep your eyes off my prize, cause ain't nothing over here for sale. Oh, not my shotgun or my cottage, not my ballrooms, look, none of my houses. Now, if you ain't hear it in the last announcement, ain't nothing over here for sale. not my nana or my parent, not my auntie or my granny, not my papa, not none of my family. I'm telling you, ain't nothing of mine for sale. Not my sinners or my saints, not my coulds, not even my can'ts. Now, don't see the picture? Look, let me grab my paint, make it pretty, pretty, use proper language. Oh, there is nothing over here that's for sale. Not my culture or my crown. This city has had enough of you clowns. Want to build it up but keep me down or anything to make that sale? Now you want me to give you all I got. You want my window and my pot. Now Lord knows it ain't a lot, oh, but it's mine. And it ain't for sale. Now see, you don't know me or my kind. My heritage, my history, my line, my dignity, my legacy, my pride. Look, some things just ain't up for buying. So while you gentrify and you plot, while you calculate and you allot, of all the things, put this one on top. Ain't nothing over here for sale. This is for those who work 25 hours a day for 24 cents an hour. It's for those who trod the street stress heavy, their feet strapped with anguish, backs bent with burden. It's for those who live between the lines of fear and confusion. It's for those whose eyes have witnessed the sunrise and they still question the awesome power of a supreme being. It's for those against the wall or in the dust or behind the bars or on the other side of the barrel. It's for those who do not see God in the mirror or a tree or a blade of grass, a homeless man, a crescent moon, a drop of dew, a ray of sun, or a purple sky. It is for those who have given up on life and just wonder how they are still allowed to open their eyes real wide in the morning. And I say to you, it is not yet time to die. For seekers of a better way, for speakers of new words, for creators of another day, awake from your slumber, massive in number, as brave as thunder, as courageous as hope, as audacious as faith. I see heaven in your face. How does it feel just knowing that wherever you go, the holiest of holies is present in the form of you? Oh, this is for you. It's for your worth. It's nothing less than divine. I'm saying this for all of those who survive, who get up, who scream, even when the takers try and zap their dreams, who shout no, who cry yes, who feel the glory of victory boiling in their chests. It's for the lovers of love, for thinkers of peace, for workers of justice, filled hands of freedom, whose voices ring high when vibrations are low. It's for the tillers of the earth and the seeds they sow. Grow big, grow long, grow up, and grow high. Rise and take your stance, because it is not yet time to die. Hey. Yeah, that was nice. We hear y'all too. Okay. They like, I got a poem. The birds. The birdies.
Yes, sir. I wish I could get a witness tonight. Who gave his son my soul to save and fitted for the side?
Popping up like gratitude, like joy, like celebration, like health, like peace, like harmony, uh, like golden, like hey y'all. That's what happened when you're outside, you know. And I think even that is just the beauty of. I'm going to speak to the beauty of the time first. Not even just first, I guess only maybe. Let's speak to the beauty of the time and what this is still brought up. Like I'm reminded of my grandmother who would say, you would ask her how she doing, and she would always say, I'm on this side, you know. So here's to being on this side. Here's to finding joy in the midst of all of the things going on this side. The fact that we are able to still create new ways to communicate with one another, create new ways of inspiring one another to help, creating new platforms for performances and prayer performances. Here's to celebrating the goodness of life. Here's to seeing our future and seeing ourselves whole and healthy and happy and joyful. Oh man, it's too beautiful a day outside. Hey, too beautiful a day outside, I think, to focus on anything else other than the joy that comes with this type of creation. So I thank you for being. I thank you for listening, and see you soon.
The popular notion of Ifa is that it's a religion of the Yoruba people. But there's evidence that that's a lie. Professor Wande Abimbola was the first person to write, well, maybe the second to write a PhD thesis on Ifa. In some of his writings, he said there's history in Ifa, that there's nature study in Ifa. That's what he said. But it was very recently I came across Petrarch Pega. He was the cleric of the Methodist Church of Nigeria. He went to the University of Ibadan in 1987 to give a lecture. And in that lecture, he said, Ifa is not religion, but contains religion. Ifa is not history, but contains history. Ifa is not philosophy, but contains philosophy. Ifa is not science, but it contains science. And a very profound kind of science. What is a profound kind of science? Science is normally made up of chemistry, biology, and physics. Now, the problem we have, as I said, to testify whether that man is a liar or not, you must go into Ifa literature. And when you go into Ifa literature, what do you discover? In Ifa, it is clearly stated that the unit of counting must be binary. Méjì méjì Ọlọ́run dá gbogbo nǹkan tó wà láyé. In other words, there's always the positive and negative. Western philosophy knows that, but to them, the positive is opposite of the negative, and they can never come together. But for Ifa, it cannot be separated. The example is very simple. This is my hand. This is one side. This is the other side. Are they the same? Can you separate them? The white man will say this is positive, this is negative, and they can't come together. Try to remove my hand so that there's only one side. Take the coin, head and tail. Can you remove the head and have the tail alone? They're inseparable. And that is why when the white man started to count mathematics, 1, 2, 3, 4, the Yoruba did not do that. 0, 1 is one figure. maybe one, maybe two, but they must always be two. Now, for your information, that is the newly discovered in Western mathematics binary. Before, it was not binary, it was 1, 1. Ifa is the one that says that everything must have two sides, they're inseparable. Think of a mountain. Does it make sense if you don't have the idea of a valley? I know mountain. The valley is down, but take one. Does it have meaning? A mountain is a place higher than. So separate the idea of mountain. It doesn't have meaning unless there's a valley there, up and down. But the Yoruba man will want you to talk of mountain without referring to valley. It doesn't have meaning. Now, in the West, materialism is the most popular theory. It is very simple. Everything in the world is material. And if it is material, I can know it through my 5 senses. Touching, tasting, and so on. But they know there's something that is not material. They call it idea of spiritual. They say it doesn't exist. But if Yoruba say matter and opposite of matter are inseparable, then how can you say one? You say that this one does not exist, but this one exists. It's not possible. Today, the latest development in science is particle physics, which is recognition of the two, which is Yoruba philosophy that existed more than 2,000 years ago. And the man I'm talking about, you can go on the online, Frank Smith Jr. He drew out how Ifa is a description of binary mathematics, particle physics. So, you know the problem we have. Ifa is a storage, putting together everything you know. It was not separated. But because you see it as a religion, you think it doesn't have anything. That's a lie. If you want to educate your child, it's everything you know that you want to pass on to your child. Then you must put everything together. And that was what happened. That's why the title of my book, Classical Philosophy. In the time of Socrates and so on, there was only one discipline, philosophy. Politics is there, mathematics is there, science is there. It was much later, in the Middle Ages, that you start to break it. Every discipline today is not fun. The mother is queen. We call it philosophy, queen of all sciences. It is philosophy that gave birth to all of them. If I still at the level where it has not been broken, but all the disciplines are there. You can go down and find it. You see mathematics there. You see physics there. You see biology there. There's nothing you don't see there. As I said again, for me to say there's physics and biology in Ifa, there must be evidence. And the evidence is in the oral literature. You must go and read it and discover whether it is there or not. It's not just a stipulation.
Somebody need to come out.